This is on CNN. And they're talking about Joe Biden, how he's basically destroyed this country, destroyed the country with the economics. And you know who they're blaming? Listen to the very end of this clip, because they're not taking responsibility for the actions that they have done that caused the country to basically collapse economically. Listen who they actually blame. Watch this.
The president said nobody should have to work 2 jobs to stay out of poverty. This woman has 3. Yes, 14 million jobs, but how many people have to work 2 of them to stay afloat? Labor Department numbers came out for the third quarter. Nearly 8.4 million people in this country are working at least 2 jobs. That's the highest number since 2019. So when people are looking for that economic shift, they don't feel it. To that woman, you say what?
Yeah, I'd say that's precisely why we need another 4 years.
Now, y'all heard what he just said. Now, y'all heard what he just said, right? He literally saying because of and I'm surprised that he was saying this on the Communist News Network, that is literally Joe Biden's fault because this is happening. Now watch how this tyrant. This is so unbelievable that this national television literally lie. Listen.
Yeah, I'd say that's precisely why we need another 4 years to continue to finish.
Another 4 years?
The job, right?
Another 4 years of this? The country can't sustain another 4 years of this. We can't handle it. People are already hurting, and he wants another 4 years of this? What we're going through right now? I'm not going to stop it anymore. Listen.
I think it's important, too, that the president, of course, wants to get all of this done. But we have to be honest about the brick wall of MAGA extremism that we continue to run into when we're trying to get things done for the American people.
The brick wall of MAGA extremism, you know who he's been hanging out with, Shannon? You know who he's been hanging out with? Hakeem.
Yeah.
He's been hanging out with Hakeem.
And Chuck Schumer. They've been hanging out together, especially Hakeem, because he's constantly talking about the MAGA extremists. All right, let me move along because I want to share something else with you. You know, Ramaswamy, he was on the debate stage, and many of y'all are aware of this. Many of you didn't watch it, rightfully so. Y'all were watching President Trump. I watched President Trump. But is Ramaswamy a Trojan horse? I'm looking in the comments right now, and y'all let me know. Is Ramaswamy a Trojan horse? Because I'm really kind of at odds here. Because why would you be a Trojan horse and you coming in and you're saying what they're doing, what the plan is? Is that the plan, to come in as a Trojan horse and then to tell everybody what the establishment is doing, what the corruption is doing, both sides? Because I think we all agree that it's both sides of the Democrat Party and the Rhinocrats. They're all doing the same thing. So let me ask you a question. I'm asking the question. It's a straight up honest question. Is Ramaswamy a Trojan horse? Right? Think about it. Because President Trump, and I mentioned this before, President Trump used to be a Democrat. Did y'all know that? How dare you, Will? How dare you say such a thing? It's true. Will Johnson used to be a Democrat. I didn't know any better. You know, my parents told me and their parents told them, and we were all told that the Democrat Party was the party for black people, minority, and women, which is a bunch of BS, right? A lot of people think Ramaswamy is a Trojan horse. I necessarily don't, because you know why? They used to call Will Johnson a Trojan horse. Let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think Will Johnson is a Trojan horse? Really? Do you think I'm a Trojan? I get death threats from those on the left because of what I'm saying. I get death threats because I voted for Trump. I supported for Trump. I have a hat on the back of my wall right here signed by President Trump saying, vote them out. Does that make me a Trojan horse? I'm just asking the question because I used to be a Democrat. God healed my mind. No longer am I a Democrat. Never, ever again. I will die a conservative Christian. I can care less what they say. Well, let me play some of this for you. Listen to this. This is what Ramaswamy, and he goes on with this young man. I've seen him before, but listen to this. Having a conversation with him, and I'm just kind of curious. Y'all, really, listen.
Let's play Democratic political strategists. We're in a room. Okay, it's me, you, and a couple other guys. And here's what they say. Vivek, PBD, here's a concern. I know we want Newsom, but how the hell are we going to do this? We have to get rid of a black woman that's standing in front of us. Make her the VP. How are you going to sell? Make her the VP of Newsom? What if she says, no, I'm not going to do it?
She doesn't have a say in the matter. Again, she does not have a say in the matter.
Totally get it. But what if she comes out? What if she comes out and she says, you don't think she will?
No, I think that she
becomes a back-to-back VP with Newsom?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I think that's how they take care of their identity
You're very convinced of this. It's almost like you've seen what's going on behind the Wizard of Oz. Like when you were here and you did the first interview with us, what was that, 6 months ago? Then you did the town hall. You've almost been enlightened. You've seen what's going on behind the scene.
Totally.
How convinced are you there's this machine that's going on and they don't have choices?
I'm 100% convinced that the machine runs the show. I am offering a prediction that I have reasonable confidence in, but I can't say is 100% certain, right? Because I don't know what the machine is going to produce, but it's whatever is produced, it's going to be the machine.
And it's a machine on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
So is it a fake open primary? Is it a fake open primary? How do they mechanically do it?
Well, the way they mechanically do it is aligning all of the donors. I mean, the mother's milk of politics is money. This is why both parties have an incentive to keep the mega money in politics, because it prevents the grassroots base from having a real say in deciding who actually runs the show.
Right, and grassroots only gets the candidates. The super PACs are held by the big treasure chests, the RNC, DNC.
That's right, exactly. And so because money's the mother's milk, that's kind of the one lever they hold. And then the administrative state that actually runs the show, I mean, Biden's not really the president, it's the shadow government underneath him, have a lot of levers. And then they use hard power too. I mean, you know that document.
So y'all hearing this, right? And he's on here and he's saying what a lot of us, we all agree. And people go, well, see, that's just it, Will Johnson. He's saying what we want to hear. He's telling us the truth. So that makes him a Trojan horse. Will Johnson tells you the truth. What does that make me? I'm just, Biden didn't tell us the truth. Obama didn't tell us the truth, right? Obama, you know what? That's a really good point, Shannon. I don't think they could hear you though, but it's a really good point. Obama came and said we had change and hope. He came in and Obama was straight up a Trojan horse. That's what you call a Trojan horse. But you know what? Something was wrong about Obama from the get-go, right? But this is different here. This is different. He's the only one that came out and showed any support for President Trump. He's the only one. The only one. Mike Pence didn't even show support for President Trump. The only one. I guess he's a Trojan horse doing a really good job at it then, right? Which brings me to this one. See, he's basically talking about this snake. And she's straight up a snake. After this whole debate, and Ramaswamy calls her out, guess what she does? She runs over to MSSTD. She runs over to MSSTD to have a conversation on the network. And guess who she's talking with? The same lady that Ramaswamy was saying that was pushing the whole Russia collusion delusion. And do you think now, if you want to talk about a Trojan horse, this is it right here. If you want to talk about a Trojan horse, she fits the bill to a T. Am I wrong? I'm looking in the comments right now. Am I wrong? And look, this is a really short clip, but listen to this.
Thank you for being part of that, because this is a time where we met the moment.
Thank you so much for having us. It was an honor to co-moderate that debate. We really appreciate it. Ronna McDaniel, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see
you. You see that? Bring it back. Bring it back. Y'all see this? You see this? She literally just told her, McDaniels, thank you so much for having us. Meaning that it was in her control which network were to host the GOP debate. She just sit there and said it. That's the reason why I'm showing it to you. She's a total snake. This is what you call a Trojan horse. Why in the world is the RNC still allowing this snake to be there? The Trojan horse. It's clear she's a Trojan. Am I wrong? Someone in the chat right now, y'all let me know. Am I wrong in the chat? And someone who just said that. I'm not sure how you say it, but how you say that? As Penny says, Ronna is Mitt Romney's niece. You see that? And you know what? You're not the first. Yeah. So what? Yeah. Aspen White Girl. You're not the first one I've heard said that. You're not the first one. Who's that? Ban Skim Milk says Vivek isn't a Christian. Huge red flag for me. He's not a Christian. That is true. He's not a Christian. But he's still supporting President Trump. He's not, I think he's Hindu, if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, you have conservative Hindus and you have
liberal Hindus, just like you got liberal Jewish people, conservative Jewish people, conservative black people, and you got liberal black people. You see that? You have so many. And oh yeah, and then she went on there and she said, well, you know, Vivek, he voted for Obama. Guess what? I made a mistake too. I voted for Obama. Y'all hate me now? I can admit I made a mistake. I think Trump voted for Obama the first time, but he didn't the second time, to my understanding, because President Trump was actually saying there was some stuff that was going on that was getting under Obama's skin. And that's part of the reason why Obama allowed for the FBI to spy on President Trump the way he did. You know, because President Trump was saying, look, I can come in and I can help you do X, Y, Z. So before we go, let me show this one. This is, we're not getting ready to end just yet, but let me share this one with you. This is about the Biden crime family. Ted Cruz completely lays it out. And of course, she's and these people on the left, and they don't care about the truth. All they want is the total corruption is taking place. And they're completely fine with it. Listen to this.
On the China piece, Joe Biden won't answer questions on that. So we don't have any information. And David Weiss and the Department of Justice seem desperately committed to avoiding any evidence being assembled. We do have evidence on Ukraine, and in particular that Joe Biden demanded the firing of the prosecutor in Ukraine that was investigating the corrupt oligarch who owns Burisma, and that he threatened to withhold, and in fact did withhold, over $1 billion in American loan guarantees until they fired that prosecutor. So when it comes to bribery, the essence of bribery is quid pro quo, this for that. We know that occurred. We know Biden demanded and received the firing of the prosecutor, so that much is direct evidence. We also know that Hunter and Joe, they had over 20 shell companies. They had multiple bank accounts. They had multiple fake. Joe Biden personally had multiple fake email accounts, multiple burner phones. None of that you do if you're not trying to hide something. At this point, on its face, this appears to be a serious and elaborate money laundering scheme. And on top of all of that, we know that Joe Biden personally received at least $240,000. They did write in the memo line loan repayment, but there's no evidence as to what loan they're talking about, and it just conveniently happened to come from sources overseas.
It just conveniently come from sources overseas. And of course, they constantly say, well, there's no there. There's nothing there. Joe Biden hasn't committed any crimes. Joe Biden hasn't done anything wrong. Okay, Hunter Biden may have done something, but Joe Biden, no, there's no direct connection to Joe Biden. What is Hunter Biden? Isn't Hunter Biden Joe Biden's seed? So wouldn't that be a direct connection? If he was out there doing his criminal activity, would that be a direct connection? Someone help me understand. Our country is becoming a banana republic. Joe Biden, the Democrats, and I've said this all the time, demons will protect demons. They get to commit crimes. They get to do all the crimes, and nothing happens. Nothing ever happens.
You like the content Will Johnson is producing? To stay informed and up to date with the current events, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Also, to find Will Johnson, visit www.uaf.media.